about things about them. Okay, everybody's back in the room. So let us start with the current event. Do you guys remember the op-ed cartoon that the professor showed?
It was a newspaper that said Trump all over it, and one little Hillary's or information leaked on WikiLeaks. Having to do with Hillary.
Yeah, and so what was the point of having Trump everywhere on the newspaper and then just one little section for Clinton WikiLeaks?
It was just a representation of what our topic is right now, media, and how media basically influences what they want to let out to the people and for the people to be focused on.
Yeah, exactly. And what was that term? What was the term for that called?
Agenda setting.
Yep.
Agenda setting.
Exactly. And so that's why the professor showed that. And then there was a second part of the op-ed cartoon, which was the Clinton WikiLeaks that Trainer mentioned. And what was the point of showing that? You guys remember why that was a dangerous thing?
Because there's questions on who it came from or who did the hacking. It could have been like Russia or something.
Yeah, because remember there was a question of who does the hacking and everything, and it was connected to Russia. And kind of supporting these and everything. And after Trump, encouraging Russian hackers to hack Hillary and everything, we have a case of somebody encouraging an influence on our election from a foreign country. You guys remember why that was bad? Or why we should think about that?
It mentioned something about when he I don't know. It was that part. I was kind of lost in that part when they were talking about it, because I was like the media. I was the people influenced by the media. I was focusing on the whole Trump scenario.
Okay.
But something about Trump, like both Trump and Hillary want to deal with Russia differently when they go into office. He mentioned something like that, like one of them wants to be more like, all right, guys, and another one wants to.
Professor Freeman basically explained that the term that Professor Freeman used was a Russian hawk, meaning that she wants.
There you go.
He wants to halt their production, further the disarmament of Russia and stuff like that, because I've realized that after the Cold War, we've been literally disarming Russia very slowly by taking away nuclear weapons and turning it to nuclear fuel. And Trump sees Putin as a powerful leader. He kind of wants to emulate him, ironically, the worst way possible. Yeah.
And so because Trump is kind of pro-Russia in a way, that is influencing Russians and stuff like that, Russian hackers, to try to sway the election in his favor, because why would they want to swing the election in his favor if he's pro-Russian?
They don't want problems.
Yeah, and you won't have to be dealing with somebody that's trying to take away power from you and your government. And so for Russia, it's in their best interest to try to get Trump elected. And that was the issue of the Clinton WikiLeaks. And, okay, and then we went on to talk more about Trump, unfortunately, as the trend seems to be. And what did we talk about then?
Well, the current events were brought up about Trump saying that the election is rigged, and there's no evidence about it.
Yeah, so that was the problem of it, is that there's no evidence supporting his claim that the election is going to be rigged.
Yeah.
What was also another dangerous side effect? Well, what was another section of this that made his claim so kind of dangerous in a way?
Took away focus on other topics such as like scandalous or derogatory terms towards women last week. So it's taken away focus on that and placing it somewhere else.
Yeah, because it's kind of a distract and evade tactic in many ways.
Yep.
But remember on Monday, we kind of discussed why these claims that he's making are very damaging. Do you guys remember why that was?
It was, oh my God.
If somebody is saying that, like, our election system isn't legitimate, what does that mean?
It'll make people not want to vote because they know it'll be rigged.
A cause rebellion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They were literally.
Oh, yeah, because of, he said the whole Second Amendment.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question though. Like, so why is why is Trump encouraging like Russia to
Rebellion.
hack, but he's like
Yeah.
complaining about the elections being rigged?
He's in.
Like,
That's his tactic.
The way
isn't that like kind of contradicting? Like,
the way he's saying that is because he wants. It's kind of like a nitpicking or kind of a joke thing, because she supposedly deleted a lot of the emails that were like secret or not like private emails. So he's making a joke like, oh, if you can, then how about you find those the deleted emails? Like, kind of like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, kind of not promoting all. He's just saying it's a joke. I like it.
I really do think it's just a cover-up
That's also probably true.
for his whole scandal of the women. Because there's really nothing he can do about it because it's him saying it. It's not like, oh, it wasn't me, that was someone else. Like, it's obviously it was him. And there's nothing he can do about it to say, oh, it wasn't me. And so that's why he's like, I have to come up with something to get that attention away from me.
Mm-hmm. But Camille is asking why he's encouraging, it seems like he's encouraging Russians to hack the U.S. and everything. Do you guys have any idea of why he might want to do that? Why a presidential candidate might want to do that?
He's psycho.
Yeah, and I mean, it's...
Like
I
I
don't
said
think he's okay
before, it's to find the previous information that was supposedly deleted. The information that's gone, supposedly, but there's a way to find it. Or it's just a red herring, pretty much, literally just to throw you off.
Yeah, and I mean, but it is definitely something to be concerned about because, I mean, you don't want an American presidential candidate encouraging foreign actors to invade the security of our government.
yeah, it just doesn't make sense though because he's like, and then he's complaining about the election being rigged, and it's like, it doesn't make sense.
That's Trump. He doesn't make sense.
It's rigged in a different way. The way that he means is rigged is more similar to that of like 2004, or is it 2004?
He's Camille is saying that Trump is criticizing Russia and their rigged election system because Putin's party won in a landslide, and yet he's saying our stuff is rigged, and
okay, that makes sense.
then applauding them for hacking and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so she's kind of confused about this disconnect.
Yeah.
He's saying our elections are rigged and why his criticism of Russia's elections.
Well, he's just as contradicting as Clinton is.
Everyone has their fucking problems.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it does kind of just come down to he's a very contradictory person, and we can't pin down Trump, unfortunately. The only thing that we know is that he supports himself. But that reminded me of whatchamacallit, Elizabeth's question. Not Elizabeth, Betty's question, sorry. Can Donald Trump be kicked off the race for the presidency because of his actions and his accusations? And I'm curious, which accusations are you referring to? Because unfortunately, there's been a lot.
The whole accusations of the rigged. Because like now this is attacking like people that are trying to make it as fair as it can, and not cause any type of commotion like he is to the people. Because there's gonna be people that are gonna be like, you know what, it is rigged, and so he's trying to cause all this riot. At the same time, it's gonna cause riot regardless, you know. So you know, can the people in power of this like elections, can they do anything about it?
No, because actually that would be even more undemocratic of them to do than Trump accusing our democratic system of not actually being democratic, because people are the ones who put Trump where he is. He was popularly elected, and so for them to withdraw him or say you can't run in this anymore would be extremely undemocratic, because everybody needs to be able to run if they're 35 years of age and older and all that other fun requirements and stuff like that. But he has just as much of a right to run as Hillary, Jill Stein, Gary Johnson, any of those people.
So can the people do anything about it? I mean, I know it's not going to happen because, you know, he does have his supporters, but do the people have the power to do that, to kick him off?
Unfortunately, I mean, the time to do that was kind of in the Republican primary.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he is the nominee for that party. And unless, I don't see how there could be, a national referendum within the Republican Party to recall him. So basically, unfortunately, for many GOPers and stuff like that, who are with the establishment and stuff like that, they're stuck with Trump. And that's how many people in the GOP leadership feel and stuff like that. Because, I mean, you've seen what's happening between Paul Ryan and Trump. And how he's like, oh, I don't support you, and then I have to support you, and he's just kind of obligated because the party.
I'm not going to justify you, but I'm still going to vote for you, ironically. It doesn't make any sense.
And that's what sucks, you know, because, even though, in this scenario, if we did have, some people I personally think both candidates aren't good. I both think they're horrible, but, that's what sucks, because say I was, I was all Republican, and, Trump did say that, you should have a crutch and be like, maybe Hillary does have potential. Let me listen to her. But then you listen to her, she's crap. And I think, my opinion personally, I think one of the main reasons why, the Republicans don't want her to win is the whole scandal of that she's probably, if she wins, she's going to pick the whole people in the seats. And that's going to make her powerful. And I think that's probably one of the main things that these people don't want, because they know how it rolls.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, that's from people that are technically Trump supporters. They're not really usually supporters of him. They're more anti-Hillary than anything. And I feel a lot of Hillary supporters feel kind of are in the same position. I mean, I admit I'm one of those people. I'm supporting Hillary because she's the lesser of two evils. And unfortunately, by looking at even looking at the third party candidates and everything, they're not much better. And voting for them only will split the vote for the two major parties.
Yeah, there's nothing we can really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we try to make the okayest decision.
The okayest. That's a pretty good. That's a good answer.
Lesser of two evils as well.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we have some great evils this time around. I've even had political professors, my professors say to me, usually, I get tired of the election season, but this is the first election season that I've been like, I want it to be done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Today, because it's everywhere. Like, we talk about Trump in English, we talk about Trump in math if we could, but I was in my English class today, and my professor, I forgot how we started talking about Trump, and my English professor, he was like, did you guys know that Trump was actually in a porn? And, like, all our jaws dropped. We're like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm like, that just even made me even more pissed off. Because I'm sure people are not aware of that. Like, and it's ridiculous. Like, he wasn't the one that was, like, all involved in, like, the whole, like, thing going on, I guess. But he was one of, like, the guys that kind of does, like, the little, like, walking into the convenience store. And, like, basically sets up the scenario. And I was just like, I cannot believe that this guy might have the power over all of us. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I don't know why I'm surprised, but at the same time, I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, no, and it's funny because it also, like, kind of throws the whole, like, oh, we're Republicans, we have morals. You liberals don't, out the window. But that's, so as we all know, it's Trump. And are any of you guys gonna watch the debate tonight?
Nope.
Probably not. It just makes me more angry.
It's aggravating. I'd rather not.
Yeah, I do it I multitask while I do it. That's the only way I get through it, and a little glass of wine, but...
The only reason why I watch the debates is for shits and giggles. I technically should because I'm working at the freaking polling office, but fuck it. I don't feel like it.
I think I might, just because, like, tomorrow that's when it's all going to be in government, and I hate being that person that gets called on, and I'm just like...
Yeah. True.
Trump is an asshole? I don't know.
You know what you can technically do is wait like an hour, go to NPR, look at the transcripts, and then just do that. Because they have like a 5-minute review on NPR.
Or Facebook. I mean, that's what I learned about the debate last time. Facebook. Yeah. They had like a little 10-minute little clip, and that's when I learned it was the big scandal. The last debate was that he interrupted Hillary tons of times. That's probably going to happen again, but that's literally where I got my info from. Like, I don't need to watch more. I already know what the hell's happening.
And see, you're using social media as your news source. Going back to our media conversation. Okay, and so after we left Trump behind with all this fun stuff, what did we talk about next? You guys remember?
He got in a little bit about healthcare.
Yeah, because we were finishing up that lecture.
Yeah.
Medicare.
You guys, and so actually, I was given a question that relates to that.
What's the difference between Medicare and Medicaid, please? Sorry.
Yeah, we were talking about Medicare and Medicaid and the differences.
Yeah, that confuses me.
One was for, like, kids, children, and, kind of adultish children, teenagers, and then the other one was for, like, seniors.
Actually, one is for lower income people, and the other is for elderly people.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I was kind of on the right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just referencing it to myself.
Also, but he might ask you guys the difference between Medicaid and Medicare.
Okay.
And so I want you guys to make sure you know.
Okay.
Honestly, I mix them up all the time because they have such similar sounding names. But before you guys go in, make sure that you have them set, which is which.
Was it Medicare for the elderly? You said Medicare for elderly, right?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
You take care of old people. That's how I would remember.
Yeah. And then Medicaid would be like aid for for poor people.
Yeah.
Or
So
lower income.
I think that's probably what they based it off of. I kid you not. I probably am. I'm probably right on my instinct.
yeah. I mean, usually things flow together that way.
Yeah.
And so, do you guys remember the graph that he showed you? And like because he showed us two graphs, and there was a big change between when Obamacare was implemented and when it wasn't, and who was covered by healthcare.
Age 18 to 24 changes between 2002 and 2010.
And what was that change, Trainer?
The change of, I think from 2002 to 2010, there was a rise in 3% of people who had of 18 to 24 who had insurance, but it was a fall of, I think, from 18 to 30. 25 to 36 or something like that. It was
basically, what was the change between the two graphs?
The change was that, like in 2002-ish, the younger people, from 18 to whatever 25-ish, they didn't really. A lot of them was low on the insurance. They were covered by insurance, and like the older people, like 35-ish and stuff like that, seniors were covered more. When like the whole Medicare and stuff like that, the age 26 thing changed, opposites.
What's the age 26 thing? Explain that.
The 18 through the same age group, the 18 through 20, they rose really, really high. They were covered. A lot of them were covered by the insurance, while the other ones, like basically the 30 and beyond, a lot of them dropped. A lot of them didn't have Medicare anymore.
So before Obamacare was implemented, 18 to 24 weren't covered by insurance. What were some reasons for that?
The age, like when you're on your parents' insurance. Like I know, like for the parents' insurance, before it used to be like it was younger. It was younger than what it is now. Right now, it's 26.
Yeah, because it used to be 18. You couldn't be
cut off your parents' insurance. Yeah, and then also thing at that time was that it was too expensive. It's way too expensive, to pay for it, and also some jobs don't offer the benefits, or just sometimes since we're like most of the age groups in college. Like I know from experience, just because now I'm on my parents' insurance, but if I was working, like if in the job I am now, I don't have enough hours to qualify for the benefit of the whatever, like what it is, like the 401k and the insurance or whatever like that. I can't because I'm not a full-time, and that's probably what happens a lot to these what happened to the age group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we're
the benefit, like me now, I can still rely on my parents' insurance. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then so Obamacare implemented that we can stay on parents' insurance until we're 26, and that has helped a lot of us and has increased coverage. But unfortunately, what happened to that older age group after Obamacare was in place?
No.
Yeah.
No, like 1 or 2%. Well, I think it was 65 and over was the most impacted.
Yeah, and do you remember why that was?
We didn't talk about it. I feel like that would be because to be able to help one group, they had to transfer over. Well, it was also because of the other faults of Obamacare. It wasn't just because the 18-year-olds fell under one plan. It was also because of the fact that they made false promises saying like, oh, we can carry over you to your original medical coverage. So if it was like Blue Shield or something like that, and that never actually worked out that way, even though it was implied, it never worked out that way. So whoever was like 65 and older, the coverage, they had to pay out of pocket, and it had to balance out differently.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, the insurances are just getting more expensive and lower benefits.
Yeah.
And like you have to pay a lot out of your pocket. Like you have to pay a lot out of your pocket to get like a good insurance and not have that much of like the deductibles or whatever, the whole down payment or your portion of it. You have to pay a lot. Like a lot of your paycheck goes out.
Exactly.
And like even for like lower, I'm referencing like to my parents. Like even when you have like an okay one, they still take a huge portion of your paycheck. And I'm sure that's what's happening. Like I know for my parents, like when we were younger, they had more of a more expensive insurance because we were more fragile, we were more prone to break a bone and stuff like that. And as we got older, they made the decision of shift to something that was cheaper, but it's still a lot. And like they're thinking of their retirement, they're thinking of saving because like my parents are older, so they're thinking of retirement. And I think that's what happens. You think of retirement and you have a shitty insurance. Well, not that shitty, but pretty shitty.
You have more medical problems and stuff like that when you're older, and the coverage became less for elderly people under Obamacare, and so that's why we kind of had a little shift that way, and I believe we ended our discussion of Obamacare there, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Camille had the question of why has every age group in the U.S. lost insurance coverage instead of gaining?
I think we kind of discussed that a little.
Yeah, and so do you feel like your question has been answered, Camille? All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure that you said it verbatim and, didn't miss anything. Okay, for a second I thought Angelina was raising her hand, but she was just scratching her arm.
The lecture 2 days ago was kind of very redundant. A lot of it was repetition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, media is something you can't really. It's kind of difficult to cover it very well unless you go very broad with it, like how media in the past. And like an example I would bring up would be like how just news coverage of especially conflicts can really sway how they go, because I think in
because that has to do with agenda setting and the framing of
agenda setting and framing. And I mean that's a little bit too much historical context there. But yeah, that'll be kind of interesting. Like usually, if someone is if a company's very anti-war, they would put like a lot of frontline footage instead of like drone footage or something. They would just put footage of casualties, and that would kind of incentivize you to say like, well, screw this. I'm not gonna fund death and destruction. Ironically speaking.
Yeah.
Military.
Yeah, so do you guys feel you all feel comfortable with the content of the lecture?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So as you know, we're all in midterms and everything, and I'd like to do some midterm progress reports with you guys. And the way that I'm thinking that we can do this is that either if you can meet up with me here during our actual time just for 10 minutes, and we'll schedule who comes in at when, or if you can't come into my office hours. And so I would say for delayed basis students, email me your availability if you would be more able to come see me during my office hour, or if you'd rather set up a Monday, Wednesday time between 6 and 6:50. I'm thinking that you're confused?
Yeah.
So basically, I just want to check in with you guys and let you guys know how you're doing in the class.
Oh, awesome. Yes.
And then and hear what your guys' questions and concerns are and everything.
Well, maybe, sorry, I'm hella interrupting. Sorry. Well, maybe you can do is, you know how you break us into groups?
Oh yeah,
You can do that.
I could just break, and like have you guys
You
talk
can,
about the material
yeah.
and stuff.
You can do like 2 a day or like, 2 a day. And sometimes not necessarily, I don't think you're gonna really need 10 minutes, maybe like 5. And like you bring someone in and just whatever talk, and then all right guys, now talk about this, and then again bring another person in with you, and just do it like that. Don't do it all like in one hit, because we actually want to talk to you, about it, especially like on Mondays, because it really helps with the whole readings and stuff. But like you can do it that way, and that way you don't have to take more time out of your day, and it doesn't take time out of our day.
Yeah, that's a really good solution. So I'll do that next Wednesday.
That sounds good.
Okay. So for you guys, we'll have it be next Wednesday, and then delayed students, please email me. If you don't email me, I'm going to be emailing you and asking you when you can meet. So it's going to happen one way or another.
What's the office hours again? Sorry.
My office hours are Tuesday and Thursday, 12 to 1 p.m. in Boston Hall, 2,200.
Okay.
Upstairs.
Yep, upstairs in the park office.
Okay.
That's where I want to go hunt you down.
Yep. And whatchamacallit. Also, I am usually there from, I would say, 12 to 2:45. So if you need to schedule something in between that time that's not my official office hour, email me and we can set something up, because I'll be available. We have a couple more questions to just go over real quick that a few of you asked. So I want to do those in the last 5 minutes, okay? So the first question is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of digital citizenship? And I'm going to explain what digital citizenship is. Do you guys know what that is? Do you remember seeing that term in the Ginsburg text?
Is that how is that kind of how like the whole driver's license, once you get the driver's license, you're sharing your visa or something like that? I'm not quite sure.
It's actually engaging in political content through social media and through the internet, essentially, and that's kind of how you engage yourself as a citizen. And so, what do you guys think would be some disadvantages and advantages of that?
Advantage is obviously you're able to interact and get more knowledge from more people than if it was just in person. I mean, you're not going to go hunt people and ask them their opinion or what they've learned or whatnot. But if one's like on the computer, it's so easy to just look up and talk to people.
I think a disadvantage would be moral ambiguity. It's just people, when it comes to the internet, especially because they have the whole because they're an anonymous person, they're less liable, so they'll say some really messed up things. At least that's how I see most of the internet. Is just BS at this point.
And there could be like fake websites, and people could like have like really biased websites, so you're not gonna really get all the information you really need.
Yes, you're saying like that doesn't already exist.
And then sometimes the internet itself, the whole it being digital, it becomes a crutch. That's all you see. Like for us, like if you think about it, like if we're like, okay, well you guys have to do this, and you guys have to read an article, or you guys have to find out about this, but you guys can't use the internet. We'll be like, what the hell are we gonna do? It's like, I'm pretty sure most of us are gonna forget that the newspaper exists. It's like we rely on the internet way too much.
Yeah, because I mean, and newspapers themselves are transferring to the internet and everything, and so what do you think is going to happen, kind of through this end of the age of newspapers?
It's gonna create like a vacuum when it comes to like news and entertainment, because we're gonna have a less wide source of information. It's gonna be more condensed.
Yeah, because they'll definitely be playing to our selection bias and everything, because I mean, these alternate types of media are usually have their own kind of perspective and everything that they want to be portraying, rather than a possibly more neutral newspaper and everything.
I forgot who it was. I think it could have been Professor Hernandez, and he made a reference to newspapers and saying that it was only, even when it came to the world of newspapers, there used to be thousands of, or it could be Professor Hernandez or Professor Freeman, I can't remember.
It was both.
A lot of newspapers, and it got kind of shrunk down to like a select few. And now with the loss of newspapers, it's going to be even a lesser amount of information, like informational biases. Like, it was Professor Hernandez. He likes to make the joke where he watches a very liberal or very leftist view, and then watches a very conservative view, and then sees what's in the middle, and that's usually the truth. It's just a joke there. So yeah.
And this is your criminal justice professor?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know some of you guys have that shared professor and everything. Okay, and so with that, we've covered all of your questions, and we've covered the lecture. Is there anything else that you guys want to go over?
It's not a potato. What the hell?
Or do you guys feel confident?
Well, yeah, sounds good to me. I think we're pretty confident. Most of us are studio kids, so we'll take the test. But I feel pretty good if you pick somebody to ask me a question. According to the SI class that I do spend time on, I can answer.
And how about you, Elizabeth and Sandra? You guys are good? Because I haven't heard you guys talk yet today, so I just wanted to check in with you.
No, I'm
I
good.
think most of us talk during class. Like if you're a studio, it's required for you to at least take part in part of the class.
Yeah, this is true. And how about you, Elizabeth? Are you feeling okay?
Huh? Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I just can't really hear right now. My computer's kind of acting weird, so I can't really hear what you guys are saying.
Oh, okay.
It just sounds, and then I unplugged my earphones and I can't hear, so I'm trying to figure that out. Is that okay if I exit right now, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be ending right now, so I just was asking if you guys had any final questions and everything. And if you're all good, then I'll let you guys go. Good. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, or see you on Monday.
Yeah.
Bye.